Is this streaming? Guys, I'm so sorry. It is all new to me, this new streaming service, and I still feel like I'm not sure what's happening. So if we're live, hello. Just ignore my weirdness while I try to check if we're live or not. Yes, my channel. Yes, it says we are live. Okay, well, hello. I'm sorry, you guys. I am trying to figure things out. Okay, so hello. My name's Abby Messmer. I am the founder of DIY Fashion Rebel, and I help people who are at home and want to learn how to sew their own clothing but aren't sure how to get started. I help you get started, okay? So if you've been dreaming of sewing your own clothes, you've been wanting to do this, and you've been like, how do I get started? What is this? You're overwhelmed and confused because you already tried to start and it was just like too much information. Please like the Facebook page, follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because all of my content is here to help you with that, okay? And if you know someone else who could benefit from this, please share this as well, okay? So that's what I do, and in today's live, I am going to be talking about one of the big issues I see beginners having, which is being intimidated by their sewing machine. I get it. It's a new piece of equipment, not sure what's going on with it or how to use it. But the issue is that a lot of beginners will jump into their first project, look at their machine, look at their fabric, they'll try to jump into their first project, and it's just overwhelming because you're trying to learn a new piece of equipment while learning a new skill set. And no matter how easy the project is, no matter how beginner friendly, no matter how simple it may be, if you don't know how to use your machine and you're trying to learn and figure out the project at the same time, you're going to be learning lots of new things at one time, and it's going to be overwhelming. I had this problem when I first started sewing, probably my first 9 months. I learned how to use my sewing machine while making projects, and it was really frustrating. So if you're a beginner, if you've sewn a couple of projects and you still feel a little bit nervous about using your machine, then I would love for you to join me as we learn how to use our machines with confidence. I've put together a checklist. It's the 5 steps to learn how to sew with confidence. It looks like this. Super easy and colorful and fun. And in today's live, I'm going to be going through step 1 of this. And then the next couple of days, I'll go through the next steps. But if you would like to grab all 5 steps right now, head to the link in the description and you can get them all sent. You guys, I am so stumbling over my words today. You can use the link in the description to get all 5 steps sent right to your inbox, okay? That way you don't have to wait for me to go live each day. You can just have them all right now. Now, if you'd like to do it live with me, I would love for you to stay tuned, stay joined. I love hanging out and chatting. So let's jump into step 1. And that is just to simply unbox the machine, okay? I've actually heard in a lot of Facebook groups that people have bought machines and never opened them, or like not taken them out of the box, which I get it. I get that it's overwhelming and you're not sure what's gonna happen or if you're gonna break it. I get it, but please take a deep breath with me. If this is you and you have never unboxed your machine, please pause this. It's live right now, but if you're watching the replay, pause this, go get your machine and unbox it with me, okay? I promise it's not as scary as it seems, and I will be with you every step of the way. If you have questions, let me know in the comments, okay? So I'm just going to check more things I don't have set up. Sorry, you guys. You know, it's much trickier doing these things live than I think it will be. Okay, so so I am going to grab my box. I'm going to start taking my machine out. And in the meantime, I would love for you to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. I love to know where people are in the world and what machine you have. Okay, so I have the Brother SM370 something or other. I'll tell you once I get it down. But anyway, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna grab my machine and we will start unboxing it, okay? So, here's the fancy machine. It's like a very large, scary knife, but okay. So we have our sewing machine box. Clear the table. Now, inside the box, you're typically going to find 5 things. One of them is going to be a little plastic baggie full of your accessories. Okay, we'll go into these later, but accessories. The next thing you're probably going to find is the machine itself. Okay, or styrofoam. Okay, she is. He is, doesn't have to be a girl, whatever you want it to be. There's the machine. And usually one of these sides will be open. No, it's really sealed all the way around. Oh, hold on. Okay, you have this little chunk that came out of the middle. Let's put that to the side. There's the opening. Ooh, oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm kind of obsessed with sewing machines. I have way too many. But like I said, I just moved and I couldn't bring my old machine with me, so here's the new one. And yes, so take this out. So inside our box, we found the machine itself, the first thing. The second thing is the accessories, okay? The third thing is the foot pedal, okay? Now these foot pedals honestly look the exact same for every machine. If yours looks different, it's okay, but I'm pretty sure it'll look just like this. Okay, so you should have a pedal, okay? It's a gray pedal like this. This works just like an accelerator in your car. So like the gas pedal that makes you go, it's the same thing. It'll sit on the floor like this, and you'll press this with your foot, just like a gas pedal. And the harder you press, the faster the machine will go. The less you press, the slower the machine will go, okay? I'll show you this when we actually start sewing, but just information. And then this is actually a little bit interesting because if I unwrap this, Okay. I pull this out. What we will find is that it's always weird to do these things live because usually I just edit all this out and I do a video. But here we are. Okay. So we can start with the foot pedal side. So you have the foot pedal like I was just talking about. Now if we follow this cable, you see it, the foot pedal has a cable attached to it. If I follow this, okay, we come to this weird chunk, okay? Now this is what's actually going to plug into our sewing machine. And then from the plug, if we keep going along, all the way to the end, this is what we're going to plug into the wall. So this is our power cable. Okay, so our power cable and our foot pedal are all one long system. Okay, so how this is going to work is, if you look on the side of your machine, it's almost always on this side below the hand wheel. You will take this weird middle chunk, this fat one, and you will plug it in. Okay, beautiful. And then you can plug this side into the wall, and this foot pedal, tangled up, will go under your machine on the floor. Okay, now we're not going to sew today, so that's just information. We'll get in more detail later. That's how that works. Okay, so we'll do another countdown just to make sure I don't miss anything. Yes, okay, so inside the box we found the machine, we found the power cable and the foot pedal, which are typically connected like I showed you. That's machine 1, power cable 2, foot pedal 3, accessories 4, and the last thing you'll find in your machine is the manual. Okay, now I know I'm guilty of this too, is that once I get a new piece of equipment, whether it's a TV, a printer, a phone, whatever it may be, I never read the manual. This goes in the box that it came in, I put it away, throw it away, the end. Do not do that, okay? We are going to be using this manual a lot, especially during this phase of getting to know your machine. But even later on, you may come back to it for reference. So this is one of the few things you actually need to keep your manual. So make sure you have it, okay? So guys, that's it. Honestly, those are the 5 things that you're going to find inside the box. That's it. Like, it's not so crazy. So if you've been scared of opening that box, if you've been scared of getting started, let this be an example of how easy this is, okay? Honestly, that took like what, 5 minutes, not that long? And I was explaining stuff, so it'll be even faster for you. So once we have the machine out of the box, that is the first box on the list. Oops, sorry, I keep getting that mixed up. So here's step 1, then take everything out of the box. Done. Step 2, find the manual, because as I said, that's very, very important. And then step 3, we're going to check for included parts. Now I'm going to show you a trick for this middle part here, to find the manual, and then it'll lead us right into this third part. Okay, so I have a brand new machine here, nifty, which means that it comes with a manual. Ta-da! However, I know that many people would rather get a used machine, or maybe someone gifted you one, or maybe you have a friend who used to sew and isn't anymore, and they are, again, gifting you the machine or getting secondhand. In those kinds of cases, you may not get the manual with your sewing machine, right? Because it's probably gone, thrown away, like most people do. But don't worry, this is super easy because we live in the age of technology and the internet is wondrous. So what you can actually do is, if I go over here to Google, make this bigger for us. If I go to Google, okay, then I can type in the name of my machine here. So I have the Brother SM3701 sewing machine manual. Okay, you just type that into Google and it will 9 times out of 10 pull up something right here, especially if it's a Brother, a Singer, an Elna, a Husqvarna. If it's like a big name brand machine, it will instantly pull it up. If it's not the first hit, you can usually scroll through and find it, okay? So then you can just click on this. Here's the operations manual. I can download it. It opens, and here's the manual for this machine. So if you don't like keeping this hard copy, if you're like, I'm gonna lose it, I'm gonna get rid of it, you don't want it, then get the digital copy, okay? But please have your manual with you. I like having the hard copy. I like just like sitting next to my machine and like having it, not having to go find my computer just to use my sewing machine. But the choice is yours. Just please, please have access to it, because I promise you, your manual is going to answer most of the questions you have about your sewing machine, okay? So, manuals. So in here, I can scroll down and and safety instructions, awesome. So here's my table of contents. The first thing on here is accessories and then the main parts of the machine. So if I come down, knowing your sewing machine, here are the accessories. Now, this is what I had referred to when I was saying check for all included parts. That's step 3 here, okay? So you wanna make sure that anything that your machine was supposed to come with, you have with your machine. That way, as we move forward, when you wanna do a project and you're like, oh, I need a buttonhole foot. Does my machine have a buttonhole? You can look at your manual, or you will already know because you looked at your manual during this step right now. And we can see here that number 2 is a buttonhole foot A. So this machine did come with that. And if I look at my bag of goodies, there it is. That's the buttonhole foot. Okay? So this is nice because, again, in your manual, you kind of have these pictures. So you can look at the picture and then look at the name of it and start becoming familiar with, oh, this ginormous plastic piece, that's the buttonhole foot. Oh, this little, let's see, what else is in here? Oh, this little white plate here, that looks just like number 4, and that's the darning plate. Okay, so please go through your manual and check which parts are included in your accessories. Make sure you have them and make sure that you're getting familiar with them. So that way when you're like, oh, I need a buttonhole foot, you know, oh, this is what it looks like. Okay? Becoming familiar with your machine is the first step to feeling more comfortable with it, okay? When you know what the parts are called, when you know what each thing does, it's so much easier to sit down and say, oh, I need to do a buttonhole. Okay, here's the buttonhole foot. I know what that is, okay? So if you can go through these first 3 steps of unboxing your machine, finding your manual, and becoming familiar with your accessories, you are going to be well on your way to feeling more confident with your machine, okay? So I hope this has helped get you going in the right direction. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, so that way I can help answer them. And again, if you want all 5 steps, use the link in the description to get all 5 steps into your inbox. I also have a Facebook group that goes with this, so that if you have questions, getting the 5 steps and joining the Facebook group is the easiest way to do this, because that's where I actually hang out with people, help them through the steps, and answer questions, okay? So definitely leave things in the comments, but it's more likely I can help you if you grab the 5 steps and join the Facebook group, okay? Tomorrow we're going to be going into step 2, which is we're going to be finding each part on your machine. And what that looks like is, if I go back to the manual, again, manual for everything when you're learning your machine, is if I scroll down to the next section, here we have the main parts of the machine. I'm gonna scoot back a little. The main parts of the sewing machine. We're gonna walk through all of these. I know, it looks like a lot. And again, I think this is where it starts to feel overwhelming because it's so much information, but don't worry, okay? We're gonna go through these together, step by step. And honestly, this is more just becoming familiar with these features. You're not going to be using all of these every time you sew, okay? There's going to be a small number of them you use on repeat, and you're going to become so comfortable with them after your first couple of projects, it'll just be second nature. So tomorrow, we're going to be going through each of these step by step, okay? So I hope that this is helping you. I hope that you learn to sew with confidence, because sewing your own clothing is so much fun. And I know I've known way too many people who have given up because in their first couple of projects, they were so overwhelmed and confused, they just gave up. And I don't want that to be you, okay? So if you have any questions, even if it's not about your machine, but something else, let me know, okay? I just want to see more people loving their own, loving making their own clothing, sewing their own clothing, and enjoying the process, not being overwhelmed and confused like I was, because I remember I was in tears a lot at the beginning of this. And if I can save you any tears, any frustration, then that's my goal. So I hope that you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next live. All right. Bye, guys.